How's it going, everybody? We are Cranky Films, and today we have for you the Epic of Serina, Part 5. Baby! Part 5, the last part so
Is it now?
far. Yes, sir. And
Yeah.
somebody in our comments said that there might be more, but as of now, this is the last one. Part 5. We watched them all. You can go find them. We've
Yep.
watched 1 through 4.
If
Okay,
you
and
look
we
top
love them.
right,
Okay?
you'll see a thing will pop up to a playlist of the Epic of Serina.
Snap. We definitely love the Epics of Serina. Okay, we do hope there's more. We hope you enjoy this reaction to Part 5. Without further ado, let's get straight into it.
Oh yeah, 28 minutes.
Welcome back to Curious Archive. This video
Thank you. Oh, by
is a new
Curious Archive, by the
chapter
way.
in my
of
long-running
course.
series exploring the incredible speculative evolution
bird.
saga of Serina,
Pretty
the
as
world of
always.
birds. Serina was created by the talented artist and world builder Dylan
Ooh.
Beta, and many extraordinary
Thank you, Dylan
developments
Beta.
have occurred since we last explored this distant moon. The triumphs and tragedies, the joys and
the
the sorrows of
gravediggers
this era
and the
are perhaps greater
daydreamers.
than any that have come before. So, for this entry into the archive, we'll chronicle the rise and fall of fascinating species and discover astonishing revelations
What
as
is
the world
that?
of Serina creeps
Loch
ever
Ness Monster.
closer to its end.
That'd be interesting.
270 million years since the story began, we have now entered the late ocean age, an era where the encroachment of ice is at its
Oh.
worst yet,
That's a shit
with the
ton of ice.
shallow,
That's a lot of
vegetated
snow.
equatorial ocean now the
Oh,
last
snap,
haven
all
for
that
most
ice.
species on Serina.
Ice.
When we left off, the gravediggers and daydreamers had joined
The boys.
forces
Yeah.
and established a
United.
unified society. With the battle against the warmongers becoming a faint memory,
Warmonger
these two
arc
species will
was
create
hype.
a culture that will persist on a timescale greater than any that have come before. Over the coming era, gravediggers and daydreamers will transform the equatorial ocean into a paradise. With deep knowledge of the
Ooh.
principles of ecology, they become ecosystem engineers, carefully influencing the evolution of other species to ensure the environment remains stable. And a third intelligent species has joined their alliance. One
Oh?
descended from the earlier Luddies, a playful herbivore
Luddies.
species who have been growing
They look so
more and
cute.
more intelligent. And after millions of years of coevolution, the
The
Luddies have now
greenskeepers.
become the wise
Oh, yeah.
greenskeepers.
Greenskeepers.
Together, these three remarkable species, collectively called the
Yo,
sea
my man's
stewards, will
surfing.
influence
My
the
man is
path of
surfing
all
on him.
creatures that swim in this shallow ocean.
The Sea Stewards.
One of the most extreme
thugs,
examples
dude.
of a species whose
That looks
evolution
like a
has been
goose.
shaped by the sea steward's influence
Or-
is
no.
the floating bloat. Over 140 feet,
I don't know.
or 42
Fuck.
meters in length, this
140.
herbivore is the largest creature to evolve on Serina, eclipsing the length and weight of blue whales on Earth. The bloat is
That's
now so
wild.
large that it is
He's
too
just
Oh,
big
look at
tiny.
look at the
to submerge
look at the
itself.
gravedigger on that.
Instead, floating along like a boat with its elongated neck dipping below the sea to feed on thousands of pounds of vegetation per day.
Big of his
A
flipper.
semi-domesticated animal, the floating bloat serves as a source of food and raw material for the sea stewards, yet lives a life of relative bliss.
Aw.
Another
Gentle
species
giant.
much changed by the sea
Oh, dang.
steward's presence are the auk vultures. A type
Auk
of seraph,
vultures.
the auk vultures are one of the last descendants of the archangels that once ruled Serina's
Oh.
sky.
Oh, yeah,
rest
yeah.
in
Like
peace.
earth vultures, auk
May they
vultures
rest in
have
peace, yes.
converged upon a scavenger niche, feeding off the scrap piles of the sea
Scavengers.
stewards. This behavior has
They
caused
throw a
the
bone
auk
at him or something?
vultures to become unusually intelligent, able to manipulate gravediggers into offering them scraps by performing simple tricks. They're a lineage to
Praise
keep an
me.
eye on. Within this engineered ecosystem,
Oh,
many
look at those
species
boys.
remain wild. One of the more fascinating keystone lineages of this era are the sea lumps. An
Sea lumps.
offshoot of the
Sea
later
lumps.
chongos
Sea
we've seen in
lumps.
past eras, sea lumps managed to escape the ice-scarred mainland to the lush underwater Eden just beyond the shore. Now a specialized marine subspecies, the sea lumps have become a keystone lineage in the shallow oceans. One species seems more changed than any
What is
Bloody
other.
that?
mess.
The sea shagos, once mighty predators feared by all,
Sea
now
shagos.
function as a
Oh, the
garbage
ants.
disposal service. Fed
Oh.
by the sea steward's regular supply of waste, These
That's
terrifying
scary, though.
ant colonies have learned not to attack the providers of their consistent meals. But the sea shoggoths
Yeah.
have not been tamed by this partnership. They have only been made smarter. The colonies
scary
know
that I
that
could
for
do that on
now,
water.
the path of least resistance
know.
is waiting passively for offerings of garbage.
They can do that in real
But
life
if
too.
this uneasy contract is
ants are
ever
scary.
terminated, the sea shoggoths
Jesus
will not
Christ.
hesitate to do whatever they need to survive.
Ugh.
Over the next several million years, Sea Steward
The
Society
greenskeeper is so
remains
cute.
remarkably
Oh, yeah, they're
unchanged,
so
I know, right?
as the foundations of their civilization are ecologically sustainable and not inclined to technological shifts. In
Greenskeeper's
the
like a
ancient
mini
Daydreamer
daydreamers.
prophecy, which told of three
Yeah.
different essences of a deity creator, water, land, and air, finding each other again, has now
Water,
been
land.
largely relegated to a myth. In all their travels, sea stewards have never encountered flying lifeforms with advanced intelligence, so many assume the third
Oh.
essence never existed after all.
Whoops.
Yet there are regions the sea stewards
My
have
man
yet
had
to
3
chart.
legs.
Few
Little
species
coyote.
from the shallow sea venture past the southernmost
3-legged
islands,
coyote.
but this young glacial foxtrotter,
Yeah.
the last of the three-legged
Foxtrotter.
Canathere lineage, is about to stumble upon a forgotten land. Crossing a newly formed bridge of sea ice, the foxtrotter reaches the southern continent of Seranostra. This frozen
Basically, he
region
crossed to the
is
other
a
side.
wasteland, yet it is not uninhabited. A few creatures eke out their lives in Serena's
Look at that
least
thing.
welcoming environment, like the
That looks
fearsome
weird.
snow scrounger. These scavengers are the
Scrounger.
single living
Oh my
descendant
goodness.
of the squirk, a tentacle
Squirk.
bird
I
could just
lineage that hasn't
I could just
been as
imagine that
successful
wrapping
as the
around your head.
Chunkos in adapting to the
Ew.
changing
You
world.
die.
The snow scrounger's presence
Exactly.
makes life on Seranostra an uneasy prospect for the lone foxtrotter. Against all odds, though, it will establish a place here, and will not be the last foxtrotter to do so.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Yet Seranostra
Alright,
isn't
survive.
the only frozen wasteland on Serena. Its northern counterpart, the continent of Serenarcta, is home to a long-lost relative of the ocean-going gravedigger.
The badger.
The savage gravediggers
Rip.
are hulking predators
The
that
savage?
lost
Oh.
the spark of sapience in favor of physical strength. Rumors of these monsters form the basis of campfire stories among the ocean-going gravediggers, although few believe the stories to
They
be
tell
true.
Snap
Savage
stories?
grave diggers. I'd be
And
terrified.
there is another remarkable
Ooh,
species
pretty.
on Serenarcta that has slipped the detection of the sea stewards. The
Little
blue-tailed
bird.
chatter ravens are a territorial and often aggressive omnivore species that are nonetheless abnormally intelligent. For the chatter ravens
Oh.
are the descendants of the white margin chatterers,
Yo,
a
it's the
species notable
woodcrafters.
for being the pet of the last woodcrafter.
The boys.
And the chatterers are, in turn, distantly evolved from the babbling jays. The first advanced
Oh, yeah, I
intelligent
remember.
life to emerge on Serena for a brief time all
Yeah,
those
episode 1.
eons ago. In the present, chatter ravens are intelligent enough to possess a rudimentary language, but none of them are truly sapient. That is, except for one. Bright Eye is a young
Oh.
chatter raven with a rare mutation that allows for abstract thinking and imagination. He is a genetic throwback, having regained the spark of his ancestral species. And he isn't the only mutant in his family. His brother, whose name translates to White Crown, was born an outcast due to his lack of pigment. Unwelcome within the brutal
Aw.
chatter
Albino?
raven hierarchy, the two siblings set off on their own across Serenarcta.
Aw.
While isolated in this harsh wilderness, they at least have each other. And Bright Eye
Aw,
has
two
seen
brothers.
things he can't explain to his younger brother. Visions of species he doesn't recognize, and whispers from a mysterious voice telling him he's not alone. And although neither knows it yet, the actions of Bright Eye and White Crown will change Serena for millions of years to come.
The 2 birds.
Many dangers await the brothers in the snowy wilds
Looks like a
of Serenarcta.
Bad owl.
On silent, fur-lined wings, the
Yeah,
startling
bat
snow
owl.
spirit stalks prey
Barn
like
owl.
a vengeful ghost. The Ice Age
Bowl.
descendant of the early Ultimocene tribats, snow spirits
they are
fortunately
bats.
rarely go for prey larger than
Dang.
rats. Like
I like
barn
Bowl
owls,
better.
they are nocturnal hunters
then
and have
owl.
convergently evolved a facial disc to improve their hearing. In the winter darkness, spotting
Owls
a
are
snow
so cool.
spirit's large, expressive eyes is a
yeah.
frightening sight.
Their nose look like a
Yet there are
bunny's, though.
larger predators
like
than
it.
snow spirits. Scissor jaws, the last species of the once thriving Cirquaga dogs. are
Sir
hunters
Quagga-Dog.
with asymmetrical
Sir
jaws
Quagga-Dog.
capable of bringing down large predators. The scissor jaws,
Quagga-Dogs.
though, are on the absolute brink of extinction, for
Oh.
they are being systematically hunted by a force they cannot hope to understand.
Unfortunate.
While journeying across the ice, the brothers
Whoops.
encounter the body of a fallen scissorjaw. While White Crown takes the free meal without question, Bright Eye can't help but
Yo.
wonder what kind of a predator hunts without eating their prey. Soon, the brothers find the answer. A woolly
Dude, don't
giant
mess with
roams
him.
not far from the fallen scissorjaw. Bright Eye recognizes it as a plant eater, and more remarkably,
He looks
notices what
nervous.
appears to be a tool in its
Yeah.
trunk-like beak. And when their eyes meet, Bright Eye recognizes something else, the spark of intelligence. This is a woolly wumpo, the largest living
Woolly
animal of this
wumpos.
age, and one of the most
Wumpo.
intelligent. At long last, sapience has struck within the tentacle bird lineage. The woolly wumpos possess a unique language and can use tools, but they are fearful of outside dangers, eliminating the scissor jaws due to the potential threat they posed.
Makes sense.
I
The
wish
wumpos
to
have
be a
good
woolly
reason to be
wumpo.
wary.
Oh,
Not
God.
only are their numbers few, but
terrified.
they are sometimes hunted by none other than the chatter ravens. On their own, a flock of
Small
chatter
birds?
ravens has no hope of taking down a wumpo, but they have a
Right.
grim hunting strategy. By singing in eerie harmony, they can alert large predators to the location of lone wumpos, and then
that
feed on any
sucks.
scraps left
foul.
behind.
That's
But
awful.
Bright Eye isn't like most chatter ravens.
I'm gonna do that
Through
to you,
silent
Zeus.
gestures,
No.
he is able to convince the Wumpo, an elder whose name roughly translates to Blaze, that he
Yo,
means her no
Blaze.
harm.
Yo.
And what's more, Bright Eye is
Blaze.
able to indicate his intelligence. From here on out, their lives
Blaze
are
is cool.
intertwined. Convincing the other Wumpos that the two chatter ravens aren't a threat isn't an easy task for Blaze, as their society has long been fearful of outsiders, but Blaze knows that, somehow, these chatter ravens are special. Communication between
Darn
such
right.
separate lineages isn't easy, as Bright Eye can't register most of the sounds that make up the Wumpo language. But like the gravediggers and the woodcrafters long before them, they
His brother
find a
does
way.
just lines.
Through the use of symbolic
Look at the coyote in
drawings,
the back.
Bright Eye and Blaze break down the communication barrier, inventing a unique language of pictograms. Soon,
Oh,
other
damn.
Wumpos
They also made a whole
learn to do
language.
the same, in a new world of
Yeah.
possibilities.
That's that
opens up
intelligent
between them.
flying bird.
At the same time, the sea stewards
Darn
have
right.
come to a grim realization that all other species on Serina are blissfully unaware of. The planet is freezing
Oh.
over, and soon the ocean will be uninhabitable. But if there's anything the sea stewards excel at, it's cooperation towards a common goal. And there are rumors that the gravediggers of the northern coasts have discovered something beneath the ground that might help. Traveling to the north, the stewards discover vast deposits of peat and coal. Formed from the remains of ancient tropical swamps, these deposits also house the bones of huge and terrifying animals that roamed across Serina millions of years ago. Transporting these materials to the southern ice sheets requires an engineering project of unmatched scale, but the stewards are determined to save the sea. Transporting
Oh, you-
thousands of tons of material
Oh.
to the expanding glaciers and setting them
Savage
ablaze,
grave
You don't look
the
nice.
stewards
Yeah.
begin to experience some success, but the region their minds are located in is a perilous one, home to the monsters of their myths, demons that look like they do but attack without mercy. Their project cannot be completed quickly enough. Yet unbeknownst to the miners, they are
Yours,
being
Blaze.
watched. Bright Eye is curious
So
about these
fluffy.
new arrivals, but Blaze sees them as monsters. For there is a legend that all Wumpos know that tells of an evil that came from the sea. Generations prior, the gravediggers made landfall and began to hunt the Wumpos, not recognizing their intelligence. In retaliation, one Wumpo
Oh.
stole fire from the gravediggers to drive them back, but couldn't control the wild substance, and caused the
Oh.
destruction of the herd and themselves. Now, all Wumpos fear the gravediggers, and the fire they command.
As they
But
should.
Bright Eye
Yeah,
isn't
fire is
convinced.
dangerous.
He believes the fire could be an asset to the Wumpos and himself, if only they could learn to make it. And as a descendant of a speech-mimicking bird, through careful practice, he is able to ask the gravediggers directly how they make fire. One can only imagine how the first gravedigger reacted to hearing a talking bird,
What the
a
hell,
scene
bird
right
talking?
out of their oldest prophecy. And unbeknownst to Bright Eye, his actions will ignite more than just coal. Word of a talking bird spreads like wildfire among the sea stewards. At last, the prophecy seems to be upon them. The third essence of their deity, the wings,
Oh,
have
then they can
seemingly
combine
arrived.
now.
So when Bright Eye asks the sea stewards to give fire to the Wumpos and leave them in peace, who are they to say no? The stewards' engineering project is nearly complete, and with the danger of ice on the decline, sharing fire seems like little consequence. And far away, a presence watches all this unfold. Some of what it sees impresses the observer, yet other things have it worried. With the mass extraction of coal, a Pandora's box was now open. For the first time in 270 million years of its observation, something has arisen within the project that has the potential to destroy it. The Wumpos used the gift of fire to drive back any predators that threatened the herd.
They're
White Crown
unstoppable
eventually
force now.
departs, guided by instinct to return to the wild. In time, Blaze departs too, the elder Wumpo passing away peacefully.
Oh my
Bright Eye
God, not
mourns his
Blaze.
loss and becomes increasingly frustrated
We
with the
lost
strange
Blaze.
expectations of the sea stewards. Then, to his horror, Bright Eye discovers a growing wildfire spreading across the land. The Chatter Ravens, following the example of his brother White Crown, have learned to use fire to hunt, but they can't control it.
That's
the fire
unfortunate.
spreads
Oh,
to
no.
an underground coal seam, and
Wait,
an
not the-
apocalyptic chain reaction begins. Like the ancient Wumpo who thought they
This is-
could control fire,
ain't
Bright Eye
gonna go
now
out.
realizes the depths of his
The
mistake.
baby.
In perhaps
No.
the greatest tragedy in all of Serina's history, the inferno spreads for miles across the land, all the way to the
That
sunset.
fire ain't going
And
down.
so, this chapter of the
Yeah.
world
Yeah.
ends not with ice, but with fire.
Dude, they
Good
get
lord.
burned
Miles
out.
away, the sea stewards can see the fire too, and know their world is coming to an end. And from far away, the observer, the one who has overseen this experiment since the beginning, feels something it isn't supposed to feel. It feels guilty. By whispering to Bright Eye that he was not alone all those years ago,
Oh.
it interfered,
He should have
and
done
now
that.
everything had fallen apart. Dying on a smoldering beach, Bright Eye hears the observer's
Oh,
voice
Bright Eye.
again.
Oh,
It
Bright Eye, don't
apologizes
die
for
on
all
us.
the suffering its curiosity caused, but Bright Eye doesn't care, and with his last breath, he spits a curse at his creator. On the southern ice shelf,
forge.
a lone snow scrounger
What'd he
notices
say,
the
bro? Did he
sky
say the B
glows
word?
a brilliant orange. It has no way of knowing a global apocalypse is consuming Serina,
That's
but the
chilling.
observer knows what is to come,
Darn right he
just
is.
as it knows everything that came before. Over the course of Serina's history, the observer has witnessed many tragedies, seen many brilliant sparks go out, and never
Sad.
has it interfered.
I know.
Yet this tragedy was the indirect result of its own meddling, and as the observer
Oh.
reflects on the last living moments of one brave little bird, it makes a decision it has never before made, to offer help.
Oh, what?
Oh.
Appearing to
thank
the
you,
surviving
observer.
sea stewards as an amalgamation of many sapient species, the observer speaks. It tells them their world is ending because of the consequences of the choices it made. So now it is giving them a choice. The sea stewards can go to a planet just like the one they know,
Oh, is
except
he?
where the fire never happened and the ice will not close in.
Oh.
So that one far and distant day, their descendants will swim across a far wider sea. The sea stewards accept.
Oh, hell yeah.
The sea
yeah, we
stewards
getting outta here.
awaken to a calm night, having forgotten all they have seen. To them,
no.
nothing has changed, and not a moment has passed.
But it just
The
got
observer
TP'd.
has solved its conundrum, splitting off the sea stewards and cloning their
Yeah.
familiar world to colonize a new project as a compromise.
Their
for
first
its
server got
interference.
shut down.
On this new world,
They
the
just
sea
moved to the other
stewards'
one.
culture
Nah,
is now
they
free
all
to
been
advance.
isekai'd. Monka.
Yet far away, back on Serina, the
Rep.
experiment isn't over yet. With the observer returning to its impartial surveillance, Serina is left to see through another mass extinction on its own.
Volcanoes.
With its major keystone species effectively gone in an instant, the
observer
consequences
just
will
liked
be
the sea
severe
faction.
as Serina closes
Yeah.
the door on one chapter and enters its
They're
final
only
age.
intelligent ones.
6 hours into the late Ultimocene, the dawn rises on a world without the sea stewards. Ravenous Nimicorn thorn grazers feed on the bodies of animals claimed by the fire. which continue to burn through the coal seams beneath the earth. In time, the sea Shoggoths, no longer provided with regular meals, will revert to their ancestral condition.
Hell
and so,
no.
Serina enters a wild era, where for now only the toughest living things will be rewarded. The mighty bloats are one of the first species to vanish from this new world. With no
What are
natural
those
defenses
fish?
against horrors like the sea
have
Shoggoths,
no clue.
they make for easy
They're pretty
targets.
long.
In just a few centuries, only the skeletons of these mighty oceanic
Feels
titans
bad.
remain. As Serina warms and the ice
Dude,
melts,
there's a lot of
the
death.
oceans grow deeper, and decaying plant life adapted for the shallows turns the seas toxic, resulting in almost 95% of ocean life becoming extinct. On land,
sucks.
a great thaw has begun. Duck-billed sea
Oh.
lumps, the only sea lump species
Sea
still
lumps.
capable of walking, arrives in large numbers on Seranostra, fleeing the collapsing oceanic ecosystem. The foxtrotters that arrived here just 5 centuries ago find food is more plentiful,
Hey,
as
the
do the snow
foxtrotter should live in.
scroungers. In Serenarcta,
Enough.
the ice has also retreated, allowing for a rise in biodiversity. Yet the loss of the glaciers brings forth its own dangers. Millions of years of built-up ice exerted an extreme force upon Serina's crust,
geysers?
creating concentrated subsurface pockets. With the pressure now relieved, the plains have been transformed into a deadly minefield. Over the coming
Rip.
eons, volcanoes will come to life after tens of millions of years of dormancy, which will result in even more rapid warming. Yet Serina, eventually, begins to heal. Several millennia later, there are few visible signs of the sea steward's civilization left, with the occasional exception of a gravedigger knife or a shard of pottery exposed through erosion. Their legacy, though, has left one final mark on Serina. The auk vulture, always an intelligent species that learned to perform tricks in exchange for food, has evolved to be even smarter now that they must fend for themselves.
Let's go.
Most
Okay.
auk vultures are highly intelligent for an animal, but among a small population, which refer to themselves as reapers, a fluke of nature has
That's a cool
caused
name.
the spark of sapience
Yeah.
to arise once more. The reapers are a spiritual, melancholy group who knows their kind is not likely long for this world. Yet one reaper, whom we will call Eve, will play a central role in a story unlike any other.
Lovely.
Oh.
The story begins in the
Oh, dang.
atmosphere
Oh,
above
sad.
Serina. Something that looks like a
that a
comet
ship?
from the surface
That's a
is
spaceship.
circling the moon. Two
Aliens.
pods detach
Goddamn
and crash
aliens,
land
man.
on the ground, sustaining heavy
They're gonna
damage.
invade.
These mysterious probes are perhaps the first new
So
stimulus
that's what we
to
saw
enter the closed system of
in the beginning.
Serina in over 270
That's an
million
alien.
years. Losing connection
Alien
to the
bird.
host satellite, they are
Alien
now
bird.
very much alone. One of these bizarre
Oh, it
probes
looks
sets
weird.
out from the crash site, searching for
He's
the other.
cute.
From the sky, the Reaper known as Eve watches the strange star creature with curiosity. She's never
Wait.
seen anything like this being that moves like a living thing yet doesn't seem to be alive. Soon,
The colors look
autonomous
familiar.
probe finds their sibling
It
has
has
not
yellow
survived the
legs.
crash. They will have to explore this strange new world all on their own.
Oh, his buddy
But
died.
Eve follows the being, which she names Felstar, on a journey across the uncharted surface.
Felstar.
For she is alone as well, having not seen another intelligent Reaper in over a decade. At first,
Rip.
Felstar spends their time cataloging the world around them with mechanical indifference. But in time, they take notice of Eve, who points out native species to the curious robot. Over time, Felstar's personality grows bigger, and they learn to communicate with Eve through gestures and imitation. Across the widest chasms, they forge an unbreakable bond. Two lonely souls,
Aw.
isolated by space and time, ultimately find whatever they need in each other. They travel for many
Is that-
seasons and
Is that a
find there is
bat
much
with
to
a
live for.
fish face?
Eventually, Felstar no longer seems to remember how or why they came here.
Look how
The
big
story
eyes. Look
never
at it.
directly states what kind of intelligent life made Felstar, but given their avian appearance and gentle nature, it seems likely Felstar is an emissary from the Sea Stewards planet. While the Sea
Oh.
Stewards no longer remember Serina, and having lost contact with Felstar may never find it again, the possibility that their civilization is out there thriving somewhere in the
Damn, they
stars
advanced
is a comfort
quick.
after so
Yeah,
much
they did.
devastation.
Well,
But
yeah.
eventually, everything No matter how
Aw.
extraordinary, must
Oh,
come
he
to
lost
an
his
end.
leg.
One might assume that Fellstar would last beyond Eve, or perhaps
Fellstar.
beyond everything. But while Fellstar doesn't age or require rest, they're not immortal. Like most machines, Fellstar isn't built to function forever. And so, they simply fall apart, piece by piece, bit by bit, over the years, like a skeleton upon the plains. While Fellstar doesn't mind, Eve does, using scavenged parts
has
to
a
keep
bone
their
leg.
mainframe
Traumatizing for
functioning
Eve.
Is that a
long
bone?
past their natural lifespan. While both of them know Fellstar's end is near, they make every day the best they can, exploring new regions and cataloging new species. When no easy fixes remain
I was saying
and
not the
Fellstar
two
can
front
no
legs.
longer travel, Eve brings specimens directly to Fellstar instead. Small comforts to take their mind off the inevitable. Eve
Poor
is
Eve.
prepared to take care of Fellstar forever, but she knows they don't want this. Fellstar
yourself a
doesn't
girl
fear
like
the end
Eve,
of their
everybody.
journey like organic creatures do. In the end, Fellstar gestures for Eve to sit beside them, and they spend one final moment together. When the spark that is Fellstar finally
Man, this
goes
show's
out,
full of
all
death,
that is
man.
left is a cold shell.
No.
Eve knows that her friend is gone. She knows Fellstar's body will stay where it lies, untouched by animals and plants, slowly falling apart into fragments but never truly vanishing. It's not a sight she can bear to see, so, not knowing what else to do, she moves on. Reapers typically embrace solitude, but Eve
Good start,
soon
Eve.
finds that being alone
get
is
better.
not the same as being lonely. In time, she realizes that Fellstar would want her to keep exploring, to see what else is out there beyond the world they walk together. So she decides to keep the adventure
Let's
alive
go.
in memory of her friend, and continue the pursuit of discovery. Setting out on her own, Eve has been forever changed through her
Oh.
time with Fellstar, and seeks to be a benevolent
Yo.
force in an uncaring
Her
world.
eyes look kind
She
now.
adopts an orphan foxtrotter
They didn't
whom
before.
she rears to adulthood
Yeah.
as if it were her own child. And in
Aw.
time, she discovers other intelligent
Aw.
reapers like her and becomes part of their flock.
Oh well,
And
good
so
for her.
Fellstar,
Oh, another
in
one
Life
has
and Death,
another-
is a
another
catalyst
pet.
for change within Eve, expanding her worldview and continuing an ancient chain of ideas shared from one species to another, even after the sea stewards have long left Serina. Eve's flock might very well be the last group of reapers
Long
under the sun,
wings.
but they face their fate head on. For in the words of the author, everything has its beginning, and so too everything has its end.
Sad.
But until that time, they will not stop living.
Aw.
They won't give up.
Yo, she had kids.
One never knows how long their story might be,
Babies, you're so
but the
cute.
world is wide,
are so
and
cute.
life is full of surprises. The story of Serina
Babies.
isn't over yet.
Oh.
The
Look at that
end
turtle.
Ultimacene, an
What
era
is that
home to
turtle?
some of the most unique life forms of all, is just beginning. But that's all I can give away for now. If you find this project as incredible as I do, I'd encourage you to check out the main website linked in the description and read more of Dylan Beta's incredible project of Serina. And as always, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this entry, please lend your
Jeez.
support by liking, subscribing, and hitting the notification icon to stay up to date on all things curious.
True.
Wow.
I love that.
That was a whole adventure.
That was the ender.
It
Apocalypse.
was. It really was.
That was amazing.
My man Brett, Bright Eye, bro. The Willy Wumpos, Blaze.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
The
bro.
sea
That whole thing
stewards.
was sad.
Dude, I can't
The sea
believe.
stewards, bro. They just dipped, bro. Cowards. They said, "Yo, let's get out of here, bro."
They're like, hey, yo, you guys you guys wanna live anymore? You guys wanna live, right? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's crazy that they
Gone.
advanced so much.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
really crazy.
that they went to a world where all the, like the major it was a better world, right? Better seed, so to say.
Yeah, better seed,
There's
yeah.
ice is not all over the ocean anymore.
Yeah.
It's just like normal. Everything's balanced, not like just straight up. Oh, wow, we're about
They
to die.
already were the most intelligent as well.
Yeah.
So like they get there.
So now their environment's way easier to like navigate. So they have free reign over everything now.
That's
Wild to
true.
me though that they noticed the ice, warned about it. They were like, "Oh snap, we gotta do something about it."
Yeah.
The people who were doing something, bro, could not control the fire, and then the sea stewards bounced.
Yeah.
And said we warned them.
They lit
Like,
the
yo,
coal
we're not
mines
here.
on fire. Unfortunate.
Oh my lord,
the
man.
god entity thing was like, I like you guys.
The observer.
I like you guys.
Have you-
My bad. Listen.
Have you guys noticed that the probe had the colors of the, how do you call it?
No idea.
What?
The grave diggers, like the yellow part, and then the daydreamers were the black and white.
I'm
I
not.
noticed that they mixed the colors around.
Maybe, you know.
Oh yeah. I mean, the things
I'm
that
not too
they
sure.
could.
Maybe.
I mean, Fallen Star could have been a thing made by the grave diggers. So. And
Yeah.
daydreamers. They're with them still. Daydreamers too. And the
That's
green
true.
keepers.
Yeah, the greenskeepers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all of them with them. Damn,
Oh man,
that's so good.
it was so good. Well, hey, look, if you enjoyed that video, please consider leaving a like, maybe comment, subscribe, and ring the bell. Right, it helps us out. We love when you guys do that. Put down in the comments anything else you'd like us to watch. Game reviews, trailers, SCP. We just got into it. Love that.
Oh yeah.
And we'll see what we can do. All right. Well, thank you all for watching. We've been Cranky Films, and remember, stay cranky.